Call to order the January 20th, 2026 Planning and Zoning, Winterville Planning and Zoning Board Committee meeting. Welcome to everyone, those who we have not seen for the opening of the new year. Happy New Year to you. I hope that everything has, your holidays and family are doing well. Looking at our agenda, we have one excuse absence, Ms. Darlene Garner. What is the pleasure of the board regarding Ms. Garner's request?
Approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, use the likewise sign. Next item, the approval of tonight's agenda. You've had a chance to review the agenda, which is printed before you, and what was sent to us by staff. What is the pleasure of the board?
A motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Approval of the minutes from December 15th, Planning and Zoning Board meeting. You've had a chance to review those. Any discussions? What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Aye. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? New business, staff.
Good evening, Planning and Zoning Board, and Happy New Year. Thank you all for coming today. We do have two things on the agenda. We've got a preliminary plat and a rezoning. The first one today that we're gonna review is the Farmstead preliminary plat. Farmstead is located off of Davenport Farm Road and Reedy Branch Road. So if you're looking at this map right here, going north to south right here is Reedy Branch Road. This is actually Pitt Community College, its neighbor to the north. And then going east to west right here is Davenport Farm Road. So this is Sam's Club right here. This is the piece of property that we often refer to as the little property. And this is Open Door right here. As you can see, this subdivision is split by Davenport Farm Road. Three of the parcels are north of Davenport Farm Road, whereas one of them is south of Davenport Farm. The applicant is ARC Consulting Group, and they're with us today, if you do have any questions. Again, this is on the western corner of Reedy Branch Road and Davenport Farm Road intersection. In total, it's a 93.80 acre site with 179 lots in total. North of Davenport Farm Road is zoned R8. The southern part of Davenport Farm Road is zoned R10. The northern part has roughly 60 acres and 107 lots. There are two full ingress and egress points on Reedy Branch and Davenport Farm Road. The southern aspect of this subdivision, again, is R10 zoned. It's roughly 34 acres with 72 lots. There are also two full ingress and egress points on this subdivision. I do want to point out one thing, one mistake on the abstract for Farmstead. The last bullet point mentions a special use permit and 17 single-family attached units. This was a complete mistake. This was actually for a different project, and I want you to completely kind of scratch through that one and disregard it. Sorry about that. Dominique pointed that out to me. I appreciate your notice on that. I do want to kind of point out a few things while we have the preliminary plat. It's a great layout of the land, as you can see. You've got connections here onto Reedy Branch Road and here. Then Davenport Farm Road, you've got two connections here. I want to point out that there's a pool and a cabana located right here. There's also a dedicated easement running along the creek right here, should the town ever wish to add an easement in the future, or a greenway in the future. And on both sides of the road's internal are sidewalks on both internal streets. And all of the required conditions for this subdivision I have placed beside each of your desks, just to have those in front of you. I do want to point out one condition of the development. One of the required rezoning conditions was that the developer will install a traffic signal at the intersection of Davenport Farm Road and Reedy Branch Road if approved by NCDOT. The applicant and NCDOT reviewed it extensively. NCDOT came back and said a traffic signal is not appropriate for this location, but a roundabout is. They've also stated that they will install the roundabout, however, they are not sure when they will do it. In fact, I asked them right before this project, and they said it has been pushed off for the foreseeable future. And all other conditions of the conditional district have and can be met by this preliminary plat. Again, I do want to just point out some of the traffic and interconnectivity of this site. So again, the roundabout discussion was at this intersection right here where Reedy Branch Road and Davenport Farm Road come together. You do have ingress and egress along Davenport Farm Road and on Reedy Branch Road for each of the two separate kind of neighborhoods, even though it's just one neighborhood, but it's divided by Davenport Farm Road. So you've got a lot of really good interconnectivity within the subdivision as well that allows a resident to pick which access point would be preferable. Staff does recommend approval of Farmstead preliminary plat. It has been reviewed by our technical review committee and has received approval. Of course, if approved, then they will eventually have to submit construction drawings and prior to a final plat. Are there any questions for this preliminary plat? Yes, sir.
Stephen, I believe it's been taken care of, but the roundabout is a future item. Is it taken into account for the laying out of the lots?
It is, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Since they're delaying the roundabout, do they plan on putting stop lights up there then until that happens, or?
That has not been expressed, no, sir.
Does the city of Winterville have a larger greenway plan that the easement ties into, or is this just for this property?
There is a greenway plan, master plan. I believe it's in the Parks and Recs like master plan document. I don't know exactly where all the project goes. I assume and believe though that it goes through this area, and I think that's where we got it as a proposal, as a condition anyway. I think on our greenway master plan it was stating a greenway along that canal.
You said the developer is here tonight.
We do have a representative for the developer.
Any questions for the developer?
Thank you.
Right, you've had a chance to hear from staff and the recommendation concerning Farmstead preliminary plat. What is the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we approve the preliminary plat.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of the Farmstead preliminary plat, use your voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Next item, Southbrook Phase 3 rezoning. Before staff come up, please make sure that you review the rezoning consistency and reasonable statements before you, as we will have to consider these if when it comes to approval and or denial. Staff?
All right, thank you. And for our second item today, we do have a rezoning of Southbrook Phase 3 PUD rezoning request. This board has seen Southbrook a number of times in different submittals. Today, again, we're looking at just a rezoning for its third phase. A majority of the site has actually already been preliminary platted, so we're just looking at a little bit over an 8-acre site today. Southbrook, as you can see, is located in this blue area right here. So we have Church Street going north to south here. You've got Lori Ellis going east to west, just on the northern boundary of the project. And then just to give you some relation, we've got Reedy Branch down here south of the site and Old Tar Road over here. This red star that we have right here, just representing the rough location of Phase 3 that we're going to be discussing today. Just a reminder, a planned unit development is a form of a rezoning and a use that allows flexibility in design for subdivisions to allow cluster development in exchange for permanently open and preserved open space. We're actually going to see exactly that today. There's a site that the applicant would have to go over a riparian buffer or a stream to add the remaining single-family attached. The proposal today is exchanging that for an area that they would not have to impact another riparian buffer. So this is exactly what we're looking at today. In addition, Southbrook was approved for a PUD in that it does help ensure the protection of environmentally sensitive features on its site. And just to remind everybody of the timeline, this project has been going on for quite some time. In October 2022, the applicant met with the community, had 2 community meetings for public input. Town Council approved the PUD in January 2023. Phases 1 and 2 of the site have been approved for preliminary plat. So just a reminder, the entire site has been approved for preliminary plat other than the 8.53 acres we're discussing today. So again, for the rezoning for the 8.53 acres that we're discussing today, we have not seen a preliminary plat for that phase yet. The applicant is Southbrook NC LLC Scott Moore, who's with us today. Again, for those online, this is located on Church Street Extension and Lori Ellis Road. Phase 3, or what we're considering today, is a 8.536 acre site of the total 245.43 acres in total. Again, our current zoning district for this was a PUD. It was approved in January 2023 as a R6 PUD and a multifamily residential PUD. Today, they are requesting, it's still remaining the same Southbrook PUD. However, the applicant is requesting a small portion of the R6 be converted to multifamily residential. In simpler terms, they are requesting that the 8 acres be changed to allow single-family attached rather than just single-family detached for that one area. And this is the concept map of Southbrook. So as you can see with the lighter colors right here, this is single-family detached. There's a little bit darker kind of yellowish color that represents single-family attached. Initially, the applicant was planning on taking the remaining single-family attached units to this location. After further engineering and reviewing, the applicant found that they can eliminate this environmental impact if they shifted this to the multifamily residential zoning district in the PUD. So if they shifted the single family attached to this location. So therefore, it would not only eliminate a riparian buffer impact right there, but it would also move the single family attached away from fronting Church Street, interior to the site, as you can see here. Of course, no other changes to the PUD are part of this project, so the density will not change at all, nor does the overall count in total number of units change at all in this proposal. Just to give you another kind of overview of the entire project, so this is Lori Ellis Road up here. This is Church Street extension here, so it's a large swath of land, you know, a large project. Most of it's been preliminary platted, but right here where the star is, that's representative of the Phase 3. And zooming in again, just looking a little bit closer at the Phase 3, I do want to point out that Phase 2 did provide 2 stubs into Phase 3. This is great interconnectivity, a lot better interconnectivity than would be allowed at the previous area as well. The future land use plan for this site, of course, the PUD has already been approved, but it was approved at a suburban residential. So suburban residential suggests 1 to 3 units per acre. This development is at a density of 2.49 units per acre. So again, it's clustered development, so some smaller lots, but leaving a lot of open land because of it. So the request achieves, again, it is within the suggested density of the comprehensive land use plan. It also utilizes conservative subdivision design, and by that, it is clustering its development to ensure that environmental sites are avoided as much as possible. It also, as far as the zoning ordinance goes, Southbrook is the perfect candidate for a PUD. It has significant environmental challenges on its site, which has led to the design that we see today. The request also aligns with PUD principles in that it provides equal or higher quality design than if they had gone with their previous design. This will allow 2 stubs through the area, great interconnectivity and transportation design. It also eliminates a riparian buffer and environmental impact. Therefore, staff does recommend approval of Southbrook Phase 3 rezoning request, as it is consistent with the comprehensive land use plan and is reasonable. We will have a public comment session prior to the planning and zoning consistency and reasonableness. Does anybody have any questions for staff? Yes, sir.
Just help a senior citizen out here. The proposal is for attached housing relocated to this site. The housing that we're eliminating, was that attached or single family?
So the best way to state it is location. So they have set out the total number of units they can have. They have already preliminary platted all of the single-family detached units. What this location would be, so previously they would have placed it closer to Church Street right here.
Those being attached?
Those being attached, yes, sir. And then with this one, they are shifting those single-family attached to this area and eliminating this whole kind of land area and leaving an open space.
So the housing design is the same in both areas, basically?
That's correct.
It's single-family attached?
That's correct, yes, sir.
No change in numbers?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes,
It
sir.
appears that the move is going from a smaller location to a much larger location.
I agree. It does appear to be a larger kind of swath of land, yes, sir. But it's still, they're still limited on the number of units they can
Right, so there'll
have.
be more greenway
Right.
and more.
And they're
Open area.
also still limited on, so each single-family attached unit itself has to have a minimum size for, you know, it to sit on, and it still has to meet that minimum size there as well.
Any additional questions for staff? Do we have any public comments?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. It's good to be here. My name's Scott Moore. I'm the applicant and also one of the owners of Southbrook NC LLC. And I just want to thank Stephen for the presentation and all of his help kind of through this process. He's been great in working through the PUD and bringing that to you today. I'll go through a quick presentation covering a lot of what he covered. I think answering some of the questions that you guys had as well, and just bear with me. The site plan that is before you right here, that is the approved concept plan that was a part of the PUD drawing. And since we're the only PUD in Winterville, it's actually good to talk about what the purpose of this concept plan is alone. And it's really meant to be schematic in nature as it's shown. It's a general layout of housing, of open space, with road connectivity and stubs to neighboring properties. And it also, I think as Stephen pointed out, all those areas in light yellow is where our R6 zoning districts are, and all the areas over on the western portion of the dark yellow, that's where the MR zoning is as well. So the concept plan is really just that. It's not made to be a final location of the roads, although it gives general layouts. And that's really, when you start getting into the final layout, that's what the subdivision sketch plan is for. So the reason for all of this, and I think Stephen did a great job alluding to it, throughout our entire development process, we meet with staff. We also talk with the contractors that are on site. We're constantly learning valuable feedback about it as we're engaging the construction process and obtaining feedback. So it makes good sense for us to try to make something that's more efficient, more effective, and then ultimately leads to a better layout for the entire community. So for this evening, I think he's really hit on, we're really focusing on the two areas, the concept plan, and those are the boxes that are over to the right. And we're really just, we're gonna update that with what is shown, to the left, excuse me, the boxes to the left. We're updating that with the areas that are shown onto the right. So as he has said, we are doing this really for two main reasons. One is to avoid the crossing of that area, and really to sort of give up the development rights to go over and provide anything on Church Street. And then yes, what we're doing is we're taking that area, which the question was, how big is it? It's 6 acres. We're going over to the area that is actually beneath the buffer, that's crossing up from kind of southwest to northeast. That is 8 acres of area. And yes, we're taking that MR zoning and we're putting it in that location. And it still gives us really good continuity in terms of our uses, puts it all together. And I think is what's been really great explained is that whole area now is much bigger buffer from Church Street. We don't have a lot of units that are backing up to Church Street or sitting up on Church Street, so it kind of protects itself from Church Street. And then again, anything that's interior to the site just kind of lends itself to a better development pattern. So we got open space and greenway, along the area on Church Street, which really, again, affords itself to be a better opportunity. Also provides so that when people are driving down Church Street, it really opens up better for our entrance. We have a lot more green space preservation that's going on there, while again, all of the homes are taking place on the interior side of the property. So really, it's just the two things. It's not crossing the buffer, which is great for environmental and lessening the environmental impact. And then it's just taking what's there on Church Street, originally approved, and moving it internal to the site. And those are the only two things that we're here. And if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I always got questions.
Of course, bring it.
Okay, Mr. Moore, your development basically has got 612 lots. That's a large size growth for us.
Yes, sir.
If everything works out and this change is all approved by council, where the number 1 is up there on the right-hand side, where you're eliminating the buildings in that lot, does that lot become possibly available for a future fire station? Because as this town grows, our fire department has got to grow with it. And I'm wondering, does that lot become open to development for something such as that?
That would be a discussion that we would have with town council if they would have any interest in that. Surely. Right now, what this secures it as it's going to be an undeveloped parcel. And the only way that it would change from that is if we come back and then again revise that to say, hey, we have a new development activity, fill in the blank of whatever that is, an interest from party, you would have another opportunity to be able to weigh the options of what that should be. So to your point, it could be a number of things. If the town has interest in it, surely we'd be able to talk with them about it, and that, you know,
Even at a later date, correct?
absolutely, yeah.
Are there any additional questions?
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay. There being no additional public comments, if you would direct your attention to the statement of consistency and reasonableness.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak to the board, to make it flow faster, I would like to see us bundle the consistency and reasonableness along with the approval or disapproval, because it basically falls together. If it's consistent and reasonable, it's going to get approved. If it's not going to get approved. I would like tonight's action would be one vote that would cover reasonableness and consistency along with approval or disapproval, if that's okay with this board.
So with that being suggested, each member, if you would review the consistency statement and the reasonableness statement and the statements with regard to the request being fall within the construct of this document. Is there any discussion in which anyone find that it is not consistent, it is not reasonable, and or does not meet the requirements? There being none, what is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the rezoning because I find it to be reasonable and consistent according to our information provided to us.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There be none. Report from staff.
Don't really have anything for you guys this month. I will say I think that it's probably going to be getting busy this year. Just with some of the phone calls that we've already gotten early this year, kind of surprising. I don't know. We might see some more rezonings and plats coming through this year. So I want to go ahead and say thank y'all for y'all's participation this year, and look forward to working with y'all. Thank you.
Any comments from board members for staff or for the good of the? There being none, the chair entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Then moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting stands adjourned. Good evening, everyone.
Dominic.
One more step, man.
I hope things get worked out
One more.
quicker than later.
How's the site looking so far? Yeah. Yeah. See you later, yes, sir. Oh, absolutely, yes, sir, I appreciate it. I got you, nice.
When I walked in here and I saw you walk in here.
Well, I guess I'll see you in the morning.
Well, I'll be there.
Well, next week, nobody can get in.
We're
No,
just
we got
gonna,
it.
we're gonna.
Safe travels, man. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be in Greenville. Thursday. That works.
I'll see you guys tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you sometime.
You're